For over 30 years, Catherine Deneuve has captivated audiences with an enchanting blend of glamour and mystery and fantasy. She has worked with the world's greatest directors, including Roman Polanski, Louis Buñuel, and Francois Truffaut. She is a French cinematic icon, and she joins me on the occasion of the American release of my favorite season, and I am pleased to have her back at this table. Welcome back.
Good night.
Good. It's good to see you. Tell me about this role and what appealed to you, because as you sat down this evening, I said to you, do you like her? And you said, yeah, very much.
I like her, and I don't feel at all, you know, like that character, but I like the character very much. I didn't choose the character. I chose to work again with André Téchiné.
Yeah. And this is the third film together, or?
Yes.
It's third, right, the director?
That was the third, and I did another one since then.
Yes.
I just finished one with him now.
Why do you like working with him? We'll come to the character in a moment. Why him?
Because he's one of those directors that really has a very, how do you say, he has a style. He has a very personal style, and he has a universe, you know, of in which he's living, which I'm appealed to. It's very personal, it's very intimate, and it's very cinematographic also.
He doesn't like a lot of preparation.
Oh, yes.
He does?
He does, and it takes a lot of time to work, to shoot.
Yeah. So he does want a lot of preparation beforehand? Preparation,
a lot of time for shooting, reshooting if he wants to, time for editing, time for mixing. I mean, it takes time for everything, yes. Even more than 10 years ago when I worked with him.
A director can make a difference in your performance?
Yes, a lot. I mean, I think it's right to say that an actor can be good with a director and no good with another one, because actors are only interpretive, yes. And I think you need to be directed. I mean, director is someone who should direct actors.
And how do you best direct you?
I try to not to direct myself.
No, but how does a director...
Oh, as a director directs me.
What would you say to a director would best reach you, would best motivate you, would best...
Don't hurt me, don't be too loud, and try to speak to my sensibility.
Do you know what that sensibility is, or you just feel it?
I feel it. I know if it's wrong, unhappily enough. You know, if it's right, you don't think about it. If it's wrong, you know the person was not right for you at that moment. And that can happen because a lot of directors like very much the character in their films to work with women, but they're not very... They don't have a great psychology about women. And even with actors, because actors are a very feminine person, you know, and they need a lot of attention and a lot of care. During the shooting, it's a period of time where you are very vulnerable.
Is that why you call them feminine characters? Because they're vulnerable? All actors are vulnerable because...
To me, yes.
You know, because they expose themselves...
Yes, very much.
...to criticism, to...
They are completely open to give, so open to be hurt as well, so they need a special care for the time they are working with you.
And open to their own emotions.
Yes, absolutely, which is a very, a great gift, you know, they are giving to someone, and I would say the director should deserve it and be able to know what to do with it at the right time.
You didn't choose acting, it kind of chose you.
Yes, that's true. I did my first film with my sister. She was in a film and they were looking for someone to be her sister in the film. I did some tests. It was holidays and my parents let me do it.
Emily, this character.
I like this character, yes.
She's a 45-year-old lawyer.
Yes.
Married. Her brother is close to her.
Very close to her.
Very close to her, yes. Tell me more about her and what she's going through and how she is perceiving herself.
I think Emily is a character that is a woman that has been trying very hard all her life to fit in the mold, you know, that she's supposed to be, to one day to leave a family, to leave a brother, to get married, to have children, and she tries to fit, but nothing really fits, and we arrive in the film at a time in her life where she's going all of a sudden to sort of let everything break down.
And she discovers what in this film about herself?
First, she discovers something she knew, but she tried all her life to live through that. The relation she has with her brother is much too strong. Yeah. And the love her brother has for her is more than love. It's like a platonic, incestuous relation, you know. Yeah. Which is often the case, you know, between children, you know, between
Siblings.
brother and sister,
Yeah.
or even between parents. You know, sometimes you can hear parents saying that they adore their daughter, or girls saying they adore their father, and you see young grown-up people, women unable to have a personal life sort of happy, because the model of the father is so important, and it's the limit of what I call the platonic incestuous relation.
Yeah. I've known a lot of women a number who've said, you know, the man they fall in love with has to be almost like their father, almost have to be...
Yes, as strong.
As strong as their father.
As strong, as powerful, as
compelling,
the admiration that they have for their father. Sometimes, yes, it's very heavy to be at the level, but it's the same thing for the woman. You know, they have to be at the level of their mother-in-law, and it's very difficult too.
Exactly. Now, what's the relationship between Emily and her mother?
That's interesting, because I think it's quite normal, and you don't see that often in a film, I think. Her mother finds her daughter nice, but not that interesting, and she gets bored, you know, with her daughter.
Loves her son.
She loved her son, and I suppose Emily always accepted, you know, that kind of things. What can you do when you have to grow up and you know that your mother prefers your brother? I suppose you try to live with it, you know, and think that that's like that. You know, she tries her best to live through it, because it's not fair, but it's life. Life is not fair, and in a relation with parents and children, I mean, there's always a favorite or some more favorable relation, and it's normal. It's a question of characters as well. You cannot love all your children the same way. Even if you love them, you have stronger relation with one or the other. The problem is if they feel it and they know it, that's the problem.
Do you feel that?
Yes.
How do you handle it?
How do I handle it?
Yeah.
My best, which is not the best.
Yeah.
I try. You have a different... there is a question of, how do you say, affinity, you know, with people and with your children. It's the same thing.
It's human nature to be attracted to one person more than the other, including your children.
Yes, because it's life, it's natural. But you are educated, you know, to not to feel like that, not to think like that. So in a way, the film is a very subversive film to me, because it's a film against the social rules, you know, that we are raised with.
Now, set this clip up. We're going to see. This is where you're upstairs speaking to your husband after the fight. Set it up for me before we go to the clip. What should we know?
You should know that the two men that have been fighting just before in the scene you're not going to see. If you just saw that scene, you would see that's her lover and her husband, and no, it's her brother and her husband fighting. And she sort of breaks down all of a sudden. She decides that she cannot, you know, go on like that any longer. And it's very small talk. Not small talk. It's very short, very simple, but it's very hard what she's going to tell him.
Here it is.